Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm the inspirational Andy Murray from WhatCulture. And remember, if you've got to put it in your pocket, do it horizontally.
Coming up, say goodbye to WWE on YouTube.
A huge WWE relationship update.
SmackDown Tag Team Champions have been crowned.
Goldberg's Saudi Arabia opponent revealed.
And another title match added to Money in the Bank. This is the news.
Well, we are going to start things off today in a similar way to yesterday. We are going to talk about the brand splits. Now, of course, this week's TV has seen the introduction of the wacky wildcard rule, which has already been broken on both shows. Well, apparently, this rule was a compromise between Vince McMahon and network officials from USA, who currently broadcast Raw and SmackDown, and Fox, who will take SmackDown later this year. Apparently, the networks actually want away with the brand split entirely. They are presumably concerned about WWE splitting all their stars out across several brands. They want everything on one. They want AJ to be appearing on both shows. They want Seth on both shows. They want Brock Lesnar, all these other people on both things. Well, Vince McMahon apparently disagreed, so he came up with the wildcard rule. I almost called it the wildcard review, which is weird.
It'll be called that by next week.
Almost certainly will. He came up with this as a compromise to kind of calm their fears down, and he has since gone and broken it both times. So, Adam Wilborn, what do you think of all this nonsense?
I'm not a businessman, right? But
You're a businessman.
I can't help but feel this probably should have been mentioned in negotiations, no?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big aspect of WWE programming. You'd think that when you make $1 billion investment, as Fox have, that they would perhaps bring that up.
So proxy me on this show, right? Yeah, probably, maybe, who knows?
Maybe, yeah.
It's just madness, absolute madness. But, you know, I can see where they're coming from. They've paid for a certain type of, or a certain number for viewership. It's not looking like it's going to hit that right now, so they compromise. WWE don't often compromise, but when TV money's being chucked around, then they do. Does make sense. It's going to be very interesting. I read something online about how this may affect future WWE house shows, because as we know, WWE plan things at the very last minute, so they might have to pull people from, say, Raw house shows to appear on SmackDown Live on TV, and that could piss off live crowd attendances.
It makes things very, very complicated in that regard as well. It's probably just, I imagine that the wildcard rule is probably just a little holdover until we finally get to the Fox deal kicking in October, and then maybe they'll finally just do away with the whole thing entirely. Either way, there are some concerns with scrapping the brand split. You had a situation previously where SmackDown was basically just a recap show for Raw. It was endless repeats of the same segments and matches and recap segments of stuff that had happened on Raw. It was really terrible and there was no need to watch it. That is the last thing we should probably want, but at the same time they really need to do something to solve this ratings plunge, so who knows. Let's hope it all works out.
Well, you mentioned the ratings plunge there, and another thing WWE are apparently going to do, according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer, is hold back, I should say, on putting out some of the content on YouTube. WWE are apparently cutting back to ensure that their ratings try and receive a little bit of a boost. Normally, even when the show's going on, WWE will chuck up some of the stuff that's already happened on, say, Monday Night Raw up on YouTube before the show has even finished. But according to Dave, this Monday they withheld on providing YouTube content until the episode reached its third hour. Do you think this is going to help them?
I think it's certainly worth a try. I mean, I know, just anecdotally, I know loads of people who don't watch the full show and will just watch the YouTube clips. Like, they might read a review somewhere online, find the best bits, find it on YouTube, I certainly used to do that in some of my down periods as a wrestling fan over the past few years. Certainly not since I've started working at WhatCulture. But yeah, no, it might be worth a try. I mean, we really need to get some TV numbers before we can see whether or not it's actually worked. We have some for this week, which we'll get into at the end.
Should we get into them now?
Hot news on the wire.
Breaking news. The Raw ratings are up. Great news, everyone. Crack open the champagne. Wait a second. Put the cork back in. They are still the second lowest non-holiday number. 2.24 million watched, not last night, the night before's Monday Night Raw. Now, granted, there was an NBA playoff at the same time, but it's still a bad number.
Yeah, still a terrible, terrible number. I mean, they compete against NBA playoffs every single year, and if it's down on the previous year and all this, And this is a show that was widely advertised around the return of Roman Reigns as well over the weekend. Not really a good sign there at all. It is a slight uptake, but...
The good thing is, yes, it's up on last week's terrible numbers, and all the quality they put out on this week's Raw will guarantee to have people coming back.
Anyway, in a story that is sure to delight internet weirdos all over the world, Alexa Bliss is single.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, so this is the... God, my goodness, this is proper journalism, this. Brian Satin?
Brian, brother.
Brian Satin, leaning heavily on that TMZ background of his, has done a little bit of digging. Apparently there had been rumours that Alexa Bliss and Buddy Murphy had split up recently and were no longer engaged. They were no longer living with each other, and Mr. Satin has confirmed this. Apparently they actually stopped seeing each other back in September, which is a long time ago. They were on separate road schedules, of course, with Buddy being on 205 Live and Alexa being on Raw. That probably messed everything up. There's still said to be a deep-lying respect and appreciation between the two of them, but they're no longer a thing. Love is indeed a work, as we speculated last year. And yeah, this is really important.
It is a real shame when you find out that people have probably broken up just because they're not on the same show, and their schedules must be an absolute nightmare to try and. But the only saving grace here is the fact that, by the sounds of it, it's relatively amicable, and we wish them well in their future relationship endeavors. Right, back to proper wrestling stuff now, because new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions were crowned on last night's show. Of course, the Hardy Boys had to vacate the titles last week due to Jeff Hardy's injury, and it appeared on last night's show as if Shane McMahon was just going to hand them over to Daniel Bryan and Rowan. But wait, wild card rule. Out comes Raw Tag Team, the Usos. I said this as a joke yesterday, but no, they came out and just basically said that, tag teams like themselves, like the New Day, even like the Bar, have earned those tag team titles. So Bryan and Rowan would have to earn theirs. And they did, to be fair. A really entertaining little match with Rowan surviving 1,000,000 super kicks before the hand of fate, or should I say, the claw of Rowan, intervened. He survived, super kicks, a big splash, and then he hit the iron claw, whatever it's called, on, I think, Jey Uso.
For the W.
For the 1, 2, 3. Daniel Bryan and Rowan are new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, but more importantly than all that, I can't wait to see what Daniel Bryan does to make those belts eco-friendly.
Yeah, I think they were already hinting at that on SmackDown, weren't they? We need to get these belts sorted out while Otis and Tucker were standing there going, "Hey, champion, SmackDown, pretty lady."
Is Otis going to eat the belt?
I tell you what, actually, speaking of Otis, he's going to be dead chuffed that Alexa Bliss is single now, isn't he?
Oh, goodness me.
He's going to be like one of those nerds in the comment section going, "My girl is finally free, my future wife." Sorry, back to the story at hand. I'm really glad they didn't just go down the route of Shane McMahon panning the belts off to someone. They teased it well. It was a good little segment. Shane came off like a colossal bell end because his heel character is just absolutely wonderful. And then the Usos come down. Yeah, it was a fun little match. I guess they brought the Usos out because there's not really a whole lot of credibility left in that division.
And you need someone the next tag team needs to actually challenge them for it, and they can't have already been beaten.
Exactly. I mean, what were you going to do? Bring out the colognes?
Maybe.
It's just kind of weird. Anyway, speaking of weird things, we may be a step closer to maybe knowing that Goldberg might be maybe wrestling a person in Saudi Arabia. I mean, the research we've done on this is really top level. So basically, Bobby Lashley tweeted yesterday,
my man,
saying, "So I hear Goldberg is coming back," with this emoji, that one, you know that one. And Goldberg quote tweeted it, this scamp, with a big old fist. So obviously, I mean, this is just, I mean, it's bulletproof. I mean, the match is definitely happening, isn't it?
I mean, is it wrong that I really actually want to see these two just big slabs of meat just having at it?
Yeah, I would love to see it. Just two absolute meat slappers slapping beef. I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But particularly if they just kind of copied the Brock Lesnar match from WrestleMania the other year.
I can't believe I've not thought of this. I've just realised. I know he hasn't been associated with him on telly recently, but who else is associated with Bobby Lashley and deserves, allegedly, according to backstage stories, a little bit of punishment? Leo Rush is going to die, everyone. He's going to get speared and jackhammered out of his bloody boots. But banter in it.
Yeah, I mean, that would be one hell of a spear, to be fair. That little fella.
Goodness me.
The biggest
Straight
spear
out of the King Abdullah Stadium, whatever it's called. Be amazing.
into orbit.
Yes. Right, final news story of the day, and it is involving a title match announced for Money in the Bank. The Cruiserweight champion, Tony Nese, is going to have his second title defense. He defended it, of course, a few nights after WrestleMania 35, after winning it off Buddy Murphy on 205 Live. His second title defense will be taking place at Money in the Bank against Arya Daivari. It is the 10th match added to the Money in the Bank card. Looking really good, actually. The 7th title match on that card. I'm actually really looking forward to next Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, the pay-per-view lineup does look very good. I mean, you, of course, always have these wonderful car crash ladder matches, but the single stuff looks really fun as well. This match, unfortunately, will be sent to die a death on the pre-show. That's just what happens. But who knows, maybe we're just off this spectacular Buddy Murphy title reign. Of course, maybe Tony Nese can kind of defy some of his critics. He's a very good wrestler. He's had 2 very, very good matches with Buddy. Maybe he can help elevate a guy like Daivari, who's kind of ordinary, to another level.
Yeah, I think this will be another... I always make sure I watch the pre-show when there's a match like this on it, especially, well, basically any Cruiserweight Championship match, because it's always going to be actually one of the best matches on the card, because WWE just sort of let them do great stuff, ignore them and give them a bit of time, because it's the pre-show.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE if you want to send them to us. First question comes from WrestleMania.
Oh, very good.
With a Scottish flag in his name as well.
It's like WrestleMania.
Yeah. He says, hi guys, with the appearance of Dominic on our screens a lot recently, what are your thoughts on him possibly costing Ray the US title and or turning heel at Money in the Bank?
Oh, I mean, I don't really see the point of it unless somehow Dominic is ready to be a regular TV performer, which given the stories regarding, like, he has been training and stuff, but they're relatively new stories, I don't think that's the case. Really, I question involving him at all if he's not going to become some kind of fixture on the show, and I think it's kind of silly, particularly as the only way they seem to be able to write Samoa Joe is as this weird family abuser guy that's kind of creepy and Wendy Styles.
I want to see Dominic get choked out. That's what's going to happen at Money in the Bank. I think there may be space in the future for a heel turn, but I think for now, just have Samoa Joe abuse him at Money in the Bank. Do the stuff that we all suggested they should do at WrestleMania, but obviously Ray's injury probably sort of put pay to that. Right. Next question comes from Daniel on Twitter, who says, can WWE improve its ratings by first tanking them and then firing Vince in a storyline? Hello,
right,
can we help you?
Wildcard rule. Yeah, wildcard. We're from the Gaming Channel.
Oh, no. Right.
Isn't it?
Okay. They can answer this question. Guys, can WWE improve its ratings by first tanking them and then firing Vince in a storyline?
Yes. No.
Okay, final question of the day. And what do you think about Vince getting fired in storyline, just trying to improve ratings?
Yeah.
Okay, final question of the day comes from Dan Garner, who says, do you think Double or Nothing coming up is contributing to the WWE panic?
Yes, I absolutely do. I think that we've already seen AEW's emergence kind of alter the way they do business with regards to acquiring talent, holding on to talent, just kind of milking every single thing as much as they can. Yeah, no, I really do. Like, people always hand wave competition and say it doesn't exist and blah, blah, blah. Where would Vince be worried? He's got all this goddamn money. But no, absolutely. Like, if this company can come out and produce a superior wrestling product on May 25th, if they secure a big TV deal for Tuesday nights in the old SmackDown slot, I think that Vince McMahon will be quaking in his little booties.
Cody knows exactly what he's doing, doesn't he? Cody, when do you think we should launch AEW? Well, WWE's crap after WrestleMania, so about a month after that, please.
Please.
Right, let's move on to today's and finally. And Andy Murray, do you collect any sort of wrestling memorabilia by any chance?
Absolutely not. I am 31 years old.
Okay, well, I have found the perfect thing to start your collection. Okay. Who was your favourite wrestler from around, let's say, 2000 and I'm going to say 2?
Maven.
Is the correct answer. How would you like, for your birthday in October, a WWE wrestling contract
It's actually
Maven signed? It's a reprint of the contract, but how would you like that for your birthday?
I had no idea.
We did not discuss that beforehand. Yes, someone, I'm going to tell you who it is right now, it's Maven.
My God.
Someone is selling a WWE wrestling contract of Maven's, 24 pages, good value for money here. It is a signed reprint.
Wow.
Andy Murray, how much do you reckon it's going for?
Maven's contract.
24 pages.
I mean, I want to say nothing because it's a piece of bloody paper.
That's not even the original.
But he did throw The Undertaker out of that Royal Rumble or kick him out or whatever. 50 quid.
$200.
Good! Yes, brilliant.
Don't worry though, you get free shipping with that.
When I start my wrestling memorabilia collection, I will be glad to do it in such an extravagant way.
Do you remember when we did all the little crap figurines and stuff I was talking about? If anyone else can find any other dodgy wrestling memorabilia, please do send it in because that's tickled us today, hasn't it?
That was really good.
Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And send us your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Whilst you're there, you can follow both of us on Twitter. You can follow him at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for No, you make it up.
Don't tell them to do that. You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. My thanks to Andy Murray and to Josh and Ewan, our special
Wildcards, bitches!
Entrance for today. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.
Can't believe we got invaded.